We'll start with a little prayer.
Yes, and can you put all of your mics on mute, please? Yeah.
Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamedam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I'll just put off my my video so that I don't distract you. And what we do today is we'll carry on with trying to extend our breath, trying to watch our breath, trying to be more mindful. We'll do a little pranayam practice, followed by a meditation. Yeah. So just to start with a little, just to connect with what we did last time. So what we were trying to do is develop a relationship with prana, our life force, and not just the air we breathe. There is a container, like we've discussed earlier, for prana to flow. And we also discussed how prana is a bridge between consciousness and nature, Purush and Prakriti. And that is why prana is called the Atma Sakha, the friend of our consciousness. And we've spent a few sessions on how to use the breath to anchor our mind, how to use prana to be in the moment, the present moment. That is why we've been following our breath as it comes in and as it goes out. And by being in the present moment, we can finally and hopefully one day be awakened, however far that goal might seem right now. So one of the most common questions which comes up is how can I stay in the present moment when it's unbearable? I'm in a lot of pain and I'm a lot of anxiety. It's really unbearable. How can I be in that present moment? It's like we always say, it's pointless, useless exercise to stay in the past, such a waste of time. And the future is yet to come. So what kind of khiyali khichdi are we cooking there? Stay in the present. So how can I stay in the present moment when the present moment feels unbearable? Anyone who knows the practice of mindfulness can go home to the present moment. And that is what we've been trying to do, the practice of mindfulness, which is conscious breathing, following the prana in through the nose, your throat, your chest, your abdomen, your lower abdomen, and then following it all the way back. So we're not ahead of prana, we're not behind it. We are moving along with the prana, and that is the practice of being mindful. And that is what we call coming to the present moment or coming home. Yeah? We're using breath to anchor our mind. Mindful breathing or conscious breathing. When you go back home to the present moment, you can find two kinds of situations. First, there are so many conditions of happiness available in the here and now. When you breathe in and breathe out, when you breathe in, and bring your mind home to your body, you come to the present moment. When you breathe out, you're relieving yourself. So using breath to anchor the mind. And you realize that there are so many refreshing and healing elements available in the present moment. There is prana in the present moment, your greatest healer, which can be available to so many conditions of happiness in the present moment. And with that awareness, to create a feeling of joy and happiness is very easy. The second situation is when you come back to the present moment, come home to the present moment, You might experience a feeling of pain, a painful emotion that is in you. And painful feelings do manifest from time to time, let's face it. But when it manifests, we don't like being there. We try to run away. But we also know that there is nowhere to run. So in this situation, coming back to the present moment is not to realize or meet the joy and happiness in the moment, but to get the sense to take care of the pain within us. It's very important to attend to the pain within us so we can finally transform it. So even if the present moment is unbearable, to go back to the present moment is the only thing that makes sense for us in the long run. You go back home to see how you can connect with that pain differently and to calm it down and eventually transform it into a meaningful energy. See, energies are transformed. It's not like they die or they disappear or nothing like that. They have to be an anger and pain. These are very powerful energies which can be transformed into very meaningful energies, very powerful, meaningful energies. Lots of us do, lots of us don't do that because we're afraid that if we come home to ourselves and touch that pain inside, we'll be overwhelmed by the suffering. That is why our entire life and purpose is to run away from it, forgetting that we are running away, but the pain is running just an inch behind. It's just a matter of time and speed, and that pain will catch up again and again and again. Trust me, I've experienced that. So either we go into the future to forget or we go into the past to forget. There is never coming home to the present moment to meet, connect, and transform that pain into a powerful energy. But then past and the future are just images, not reality. And we know that. Only the present moment is you. Many people try to cover up the pain inside. In fact, I think one of the first sessions, I also told you how people cover up. And, I have this person I'm healing these days who's stammering. He's got children who are in college and he still stammers because he's kind of kept that pain with him for the last 50 years. And, it's not only try to cover up the pain, not only going back to the past or running away from the future, imagining that there'll be some hope of ending the suffering in the future. But even if we do that by distracting ourselves, it's not going to last very long. And most people cover up the suffering inside for the purpose of consumption. Okay, so I start eating lots and I start drinking and I start watching TV and I pick up the phone and I start talking about everything under the sun in the hope that by doing all these things, I don't have to confront the pain or the suffering inside, within me. And thus allowing the suffering to grow and we hang on to it subconsciously. So the purpose of mindful conscious breathing is to come back home to the present moment, even if the moment is not present or pleasant. But it is in that moment that we can understand the suffering and we can find a way to calm it down and to transform it. So next time, maybe during your meditations, you did find a painful moment. So next time you find the present moment not pleasant or painful, don't think that running away is the best way. The present moment may be a chance. So stay there in the moment. Look into the nature of that suffering. Where is the pain arising from? And if you know mindful breathing, which we have been practicing and teaching here, generate the energy of mindfulness, generate the energy of prana. Just trust and generate it. And that energy of prana will help you to be strong enough to recognize and counter the pain. It's very important to embrace it gently, tenderly. And by embracing it, you calm it down in a few minutes, and then you're in a position to let it go gracefully. You can really benefit the energy of mindful prana breathing. They help you get in touch with your suffering, calm you down, release the suffering compassionately. It'll bring about an understanding of the suffering. The understanding with compassion has the power to heal. Not only you, but even those people who happen to be around you at that time will be healed. Remember, prana is your bridge between consciousness and you which is part of nature, Purush and Prakriti. It is your Atma Sakha. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a little pranayam. We're going to inhale gently. What we're going to do is first 12 breaths. We're going to inhale gently, exhale gently, and slowly trying to extend both. The next 12 breaths, sorry, we're going to inhale, hold for 3 seconds, exhale, hold for 3 seconds. And we're going to do this the next 12 breaths. Yeah? So please sit with your back erect. Bring your chin down. Be comfortable. No tensions or discomfort in the body. Make sure your chest and abdomen area is relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. Your elbows, your knees, your hips, your ankles, your eyebrows, your ears. Just relax yourself. And gently bring your mind to focus on your breath. Keeping one hand on the upper abdomen and the other on the lower abdomen. We do that so, in the beginning stages, our observation and our following the breath is not so exact. We keep our hands so that we can just feel the subtle movements of our body while prana moves. So one hand on the upper abdomen, the other on the lower abdomen. We start observing our breath. Start inhaling. Notice your upper abdomen is expanding gently. Your chest expands. And finally, your lower abdomen expands. As you exhale, your lower abdomen contracts gently. Don't manipulate or try to kind of, do anything with your breath. Just let it happen naturally. Lower abdomen contracts. And as the breath travels up, your upper abdomen, your chest contracts, relaxes, your throat, and finally out of your nose. Just follow the natural rhythms of your breath. Bring your mind to focus on the breath. Deepen your awareness in the moment. With every exhale, try to drop your distractions and your thoughts as they arise in you. Basically emptying the mind through your exhalation and bringing awareness with your inhalations. Awareness to your posture, spine, and of course, the movement of your breath. Just make sure, even if your exhalations are not long, they are smooth. Just gently and slowly extend too. Deepening your awareness. Two last breaths. Okay, so the next 12 rounds, we're going to inhale. What I'll do is I'll count a few times so that you get used to it. And you can follow that, and then I'll stop and you can follow your natural rhythms. So we'll inhale 4 counts, hold 3 counts, exhale 8 counts, and hold 3 counts. So I'll just demonstrate that. So it's like inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 3. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 1, 2, 3. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 3. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 3. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 3. Inhale 4, exhale 8, holding 3 counts after every breath. Inhale and exhale. Two last rounds. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Focus on your breath. You can stop, relax, take a few deep breaths. You notice that your mind is already calmer. Basically, the idea is to follow the breath. And like I said yesterday, the pauses, the holds, they calm the mind. And actually, in the pauses lies enlightenment. So, it's when you follow the breath and consciousness should become one. That is where we are aiming to reach. The breath goes in, you go in. The breath comes out, and you come out. I'm just going to take a few minutes to. Does anyone know how Buddha attained enlightenment? Anyone? Please raise your hands. Or you can unmute. Okay. So, the Shiv Sutras have 112 techniques of attaining enlightenment. And all those techniques use the breath, the Atma Sakha, the prana. And Buddha used the first technique of the Shiva Sutra to attain enlightenment. And what was that technique? Exactly what I said right now. Breath and consciousness should become one. Follow the breath as it goes in. It's touching your nostrils, feel it there. It's moving down your throat, your chest. You can't move ahead and you can't be left behind. Just follow it fully and consciously. And what happens is once you keep following it, you start noticing the gap between the breaths. It's like nanoseconds, but you notice it. And that happens pretty naturally. You don't have to. Like right now, what we did was we purposely held the breath for 3 seconds to calm our mind. As we practice deeper and deeper, you can sense the hold without even having to hold it. So this is how Buddha attained his enlightenment. And later, it got to be known as in Buddhist terminology, is the anapanasati, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, yoga. That's what it was called. So what Buddha said was, be aware of your breath as it's coming in, going out. Coming in, going out.
So Meda, it is anapansati yoga.
Anapansati. I was saying anapansati. Yes. Thank you, Ujwala. Anapansati, right. So what Buddha said was, be aware of your breath as it's coming in and going out. Coming in and going out. So what Buddha did was, he never mentioned the gap which is mentioned in the Yoga Sutra, in the Shiva Sutras. Buddha thought and felt that if you become concerned with the gap between the two breaths, that may disturb your awareness. So he simply said, be aware. When the breath is coming in, move in with it. When the breath is moving out, going out, move with it. Simply do this. Going in, going out with the breath. He didn't mention the latter part of the technique. The reason the Buddha did not talk about it was because he was speaking with ordinary men. And even that might have created a desire to attain that interval. That desire to attain that interval will become a barrier to awareness. And he was very aware of that. Because if you're desiring to get to the interval, you'll move ahead. Breath will be coming in and you would have moved ahead because you are interested in that gap. And that's how human nature is. Always interested in going into the future. So that's the reason Buddha never mentioned this. But the other half, which Buddha did not mention because he felt they were ordinary men, it happens automatically. If you go on practicing breath consciousness or mindfulness or whatever you wish to call it, breath awareness, suddenly one day without knowing, you'll come to that interval. Because as your awareness will become keen, or you call it deep or intense, whatever we wish to call it, your awareness will become bracketed. The whole world is bracketed up. Only your breath coming in and going out is your world. The whole arena of your consciousness suddenly will become that. And that's when suddenly you'll feel the gap. Now, honestly, I haven't experienced that. I have read about this and I would love to experience this. So, when you're moving with the breath minutely, we are told, when there is no breath, how can you remain unaware? You will suddenly become aware that there is no breath. And that moment will come when you will feel that the breath is neither going out nor coming in. The breath has stopped completely. And in that stopping is where Buddha got enlightenment. And honestly, this technique is followed by millions of people across Asia. And thousands of, for centuries, probably people have tried it. And thousands have attained enlightenment through it. It is actually the easiest technique given in the Shiv Sutras, and that is why it's called the first technique. I'm not saying it's simple, but it is simpler in terms of it's simpler than the other techniques, and that's how it's said to be the easiest. So what we'll do now is lie down, and I want you to not hold your breath, just breathe naturally, but just follow your breath in. Mindful breathing, conscious breathing. The first technique towards enlightenment, as mentioned in the Shiv Sutras, and what got Buddha enlightenment. So just lie down, just relax your body. Would anyone want the music a little louder, or is it fine with you? Okay. So your attention on your breath, moving with it, the ultimate aim being breath and consciousness become one. But let's just start with breathing in.
Sumedha, in Shavasana position?
Yeah, please. Shavasana.
Okay.
Your hands on the sides and completely relax, your eyes shut.
Yeah.
Following the breath. And today I'm not going to speak as much as I generally do, giving instructions, because I think we've all got to a stage where we do understand to a large extent. Just a few instructions off and on. But to start with, what I want you to do is just follow the breath. Just tell yourself, I'm breathing in, I calm my mind. Breathing out, I release, and I'm at ease. Focus on the breath. Following the prana, your friend, your guide, and your healer, your Atma Sakha. Follow it in as it enters your body, all the way down. As it travels up, releasing with it all that is not required. Just walk your attention alongside your breath. Prana has its own intelligence.
Give it the permission to flow and heal wherever required. Breathing in, I smile. Nothing is as important as my peace, my joy. I smile to everything, even my suffering, to my difficulties. Breathing out, I release. I'm relieved. I'm free. I have created space. This is a practice of freedom. Smile, release. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Tap into the infinite energy of prana. The infinite power of prana. Getting you closer and closer to your divine consciousness. Breathing in, I establish myself in the present moment. Breathing out, I realize it is a wonderful moment. The present moment is a wonderful moment. Breathe consciously. Enjoy. keeping your eyes closed, you can gently ease out of meditation. The energies today around us and the ones I have tried to direct, my request to all friends here would be to remain silent and mindful and in the heightened consciousness throughout the evening. Try and have an early dinner and try and sleep early. I wish you all a very rested night's sleep today. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Tomorrow, same time, on the same link. See you. Thank you very much, all.